Sorry about that. Oh, I'm such a ditz face. I hit it backwards arrow and then it took me off the live stream. Sorry about that, guys. I made a little mistake there with the buttons. I'll give it a minute. I saw a few people popping on, but I'll give it a minute. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. All right. Hey, Christy. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know if you can hear me okay. I was on a second ago. I don't know if you were one of the viewers, and then I accidentally hit the back arrow and then choop, wiped myself off the live. Just give it a second. I am awesome. I am awesome. Thank you. Hopefully you are well as well. The sun's shining. You would like that. It's like it's not too bad here. It's around 40 probably, and the sun's shining. Not too bad. It's all relative. It's not Florida. But anyways, it's not bad. I love the picture that you posted yesterday of you and your husband. It was very beautiful. So just give it a minute. If you want to share out, I'd appreciate it if you feel like it. Just going to deliver kind of a quick message. Hey, Kimmy Siegel, thank you. I accidentally, was on, then shut myself off there. So I'll just give it a second for a few more people to pop on, because otherwise I'll start sometimes when no one's present, and then I see some viewers come on, then I feel the need to repeat myself. 2001, yeah, it was nice picture. Your cruise, I think you said you were on. I've only been on one cruise. Grand Rising, Brenda Mendoza, thank you for joining. Just hopping on to do a quick message. Just got some little bit of insight when I was working out at the gym. Went for a mini RIA on the run, then I hopped to the gym and I was kind of contemplating, and when I'm calm when I'm exercising and open, that's my portal. So just wanted to deliver some insight. And as I was working out, I got some insight, but I'm going to balance first. I'm going to balance the energy, bring our focus to our center before I start blabbering. Thank you for sharing out, guys. Thank you so much. All right. So welcome. Thank you for being here. And as always, thank you guys for shining your light. For you guys are the ones creating this message. And welcome to this moment of now. And Spirit has been having me say every moment is a moment of you, a moment for you to align, to allow, to embody, to become present, to engage all that you are, all of that sun within you, to bring focus and awareness and allowance to that flow in the moment. So every moment is an opportunity. It is a gift where you are activating and allowing more and more of your light. And that has to actually do with this morning's message. Is as I was at the gym and I was contemplating, Spirit was showing me images of funhouse mirrors. You know the mirrors where you look at a funhouse and it's all distorted and you get the wavy body, you got the tall body, you got the short and fat body. And what Spirit said is we are clearing up and transmuting these distortions being reflected in the funhouse mirrors. We came to experience in the physical body for the fun of it, and we do need to make light of it and not get so caught up in the distortions. Spirit is saying, allow the distortions, and as you allow them and release the resistance that we see in our outside world of the distortions of the truth, of the light, of our light that we really are, it's okay to poke fun and make fun and take it a little lighter. But Spirit also brought to my attention that a lot of us, what we're really clearing up are these distortions of our own self-image. Because after all, when we look in the mirror, we're looking at our own image. And a lot of times our sense of worthiness is not the best, to put it lightly. Spirit is saying in the past, we have operated in such a small fractal of our self-worth, a small fractal really barely illuminating in the past, they're saying past, and having that reflection of our worthiness in our world, hence the mirrors. The mirrors represent fractals of ourself that have been distorted and broken up, giving us a different image or experience of ourself, Spirit is saying. And these fractals show up in our own mirror, in our own thoughts. And Spirit is just really wanted me to bring to the point that how worthy we are and how we are stepping into this greater illumination and self-worth, because we are activating and we are communing and we are allowing all of those fractalized parts of us that have shown up in our reality, in our hologram, in the physical mirror, showing us those distortions, those limitations of our thoughts and beliefs and energies and thought forms about ourselves. We have not ever really experienced our true worth, Spirit is saying. And they want us to know how worthy we are. And as we allow all of those parts, those fractalized parts of ourselves, those bent fractals, hence the fun mirrors at the fun house, those imagery, even in our own physical self image, how we see ourselves is not the way that we are really, is nowhere near compared to how spirit sees us, but even how people in our physical reality see us. We have not been operating in the confidence, the trust, the self-image that we are really to be seen in. And that even shows, like they're saying, even people with distorted body image, how they see themselves completely different than how the outside world sees them, or we see them. Like take someone that has been challenged with anorexia, and how like the skin and bones and how they see themselves as, say, heavier or weighted or fat, and how that image is so self-distorted. Well, Spirit is saying we have done that, and it might not be even in the sense of our physicality, but even our spiritual expression, our gifts, our talents, our the full scope of what we have to express. We have doubted our gifts, our expressions, our bodies, our physicality as well, because due to comparing to others around us or what society has projected at us, which society projecting at us is simply the collective awareness, all kind of brought in this ball, in this hologram that we've created. And we have, what they're saying right now is we're really undergoing a huge transformation in our self-image, whether it be our physical expression in the physical body, your looks, your gifts, your talents, your worth in general, and however that shows up in any ray, that distorted fractal from you. It's going to show up as that funhouse mirror in our relationships, in our jobs, in our careers, in our finances, in our physical body, what we see in the mirror. And what Spirit is saying is, I don't know why they're bringing this up today, because this is a back to basic message as well, but someone out there probably needs to hear this. And because we haven't had that self-love and awareness of our own self-worth, we project people, places, things that are reflecting the diminished, the distorted part of our self-worth. So we may attract others in our life, people, places, things, jobs, bosses, friends. It's all based from our relationship with self, of course, but they'll reflect those areas that we are discounting or that are very distorted. When someone doesn't love themselves, they do not reflect or bring in usually opportunities, relationships that reflect their true worth, because that mirror is a gift in itself. So those distortions were a gift in order for us to collect those fractals of ourself, to create a more clear image, to create a straighter, clearer, unfiltered lens that we see ourselves in. We are stepping into our authenticity and our divine frequency imprint, which means all of our soul's fractals, all of those parts of ourselves are all integrating. We're calling back soul fractals to create. This is cool. So we're calling all of that back in. And how do we call it in? It's not outside of us, it's activated within our light. As we activate our light, as we step more into our light, as we allow every moment to be an opportunity to activate more light, to illuminate more light, to align to our heart frequency, to allow our personal expression in whatever way, shape, or form that is. We activate more light and we call in those fractals. We activate them to embody so that we don't have those distortions anymore. So I know Spirit has been bringing in a lot of times these other timelines and little fractals or little, giving me little synapses, or I mean, little glimpses that synapse within you in activation to understand maybe, oh, how is that relating to what we are being triggered or catalyzed or creating even in this life? Let me just see what Christy's saying. I see a lot of Krista. Hey, Abilita, Mamacita. Good day. Good moment of you, Abilita. Good morning, Robin. Also good to see you here again. Krista, focusing on we can't count on or control instead of what we can't. We thrive when we do this. Okay, focusing on what we can count on. Okay, or on or control instead of what we can't. Absolutely, that is a really good point, Abilita. Always makes me fat and short. I hate the funhouse mirrors because I'm thinking in my mind when I see the short fat version of me, I'm like, this isn't even a funhouse mirror. This is a fat, and I don't want to get in front of that mirror. So yeah, I know, Avilita, and that's exactly what they were showing me in the gym today, the wavy one, like the and they were making fun and light of it and how everything in our real life and our experiences really is a reflection of truth, of energy, of what we're believing in, whether it's true or not. It's still reflecting a also spiritual truth as well, they said. So yes, Christy, so we try to control, let me just put that up real quick. So we try to control when we release what we can't control and what we can control, and the really only thing that we have control over is every moment. Spirit is elaborating on your comment. Elaborating. Coming to the moment is the only thing we have control of in our allowance and our thoughts. So we have control where we want to place our thoughts. We have control if we want to project into the future, think about the past. So through even our thoughts and our awareness, we have control over that. We can tune into that energy within us. What is before us now? What is present before us? Because truly, that is the only thing you do have control over, how you're thinking about it, how you're perceiving it, and your awareness. But when we start projecting everywhere else, maybe comparing yourself to somebody else, their gifts, their body, their talents, whatever, their life, then you don't have any control over that, nor are you supposed to. And then you might think, oh my God, and then it puts you in a whole spin of different thoughts about yourself, and it will bring up all of your distorted thoughts where you think you're not worthy. Oh, I should be doing this, or I should do that, or I should get on this program, I should take this spiritual class, or I should meditate more, I should exercise more, I should, and then all of these other things, all of these other influences. So Spirit is saying what we're getting a handle on now and have a handle on now are all of the outside influences and distractions based on the others' distortions. So what we've created in the past, and this is what we're clearing up, this is what we're clarifying, purifying through our awareness of now and our own energy, is this soup, this distorted soup based in all of these distortions from everybody else's collective individual experiences, heritage, lineage, all of that. So a lot of times when we are distracted, and Spirit is saying this is all part of our funhouse game, to get distracted, to get caught up in everybody else's distortions, and then applying them to our own distortions creates this out of whack, unbelievable, distorted soup. And this is what we're clearing up, Spirit is saying. This is what we have had enough of. And it was for the fun, it was for the distortion to come to our own self-realization, our own self-actualization. I really like the way Spirit just put that when we operate and focus solely on that outside, it is only reflecting and projecting those distortions that we have taken on based on our own distortions and the collective distortions. And then it creates this huge fun house mirror series. It's like they're saying it's like taking a mansion, and in every room in this mansion has wall-to-wall distorted mirrors, us walking in there and thinking that is the truth of who we are. That is what Spirit is saying. We are cleaning up and clearing up that. And not that we've done anything wrong, because we came for that experience, but they're bringing to point in this part of our journey, as we walk into that mansion, floor to ceiling, wall to wall, floor to ceiling distortions, when we walk in there, this is what we're clearing up. We now realize this is not me. This is not who I am. This is who I am. Pure love, light, God's source, eternal, everlasting energy of alignment, love, peace, bliss, happiness, satisfaction, and embodying. When you embody and activate your light, you are embodying your sense of self-worth to be actualized, to be experienced on earth, on this physical earth. So in the past, we've had to die, incarnate, have that illusional experience of dying and coming back, dying and coming back, and now we're wrapping all of that up because we've come to a point in our ascension where we are self-realized enough. We have the self-awareness. We are on a part of our ascension journey where we're embodying enough light that we are cleaning up those reflections because we're activating our self-worth. So the more light you activate, the more self-realization you have of who you really are, God's source energy and pure love and light. And then that's what, through that light, we are we're making all of those mirrors straight and not distorted. So when we walk in that mansion with all the rooms, okay, so now they're saying as we activate our light and embody more of ourself, we're activating our true self-worth to be reflected, our true self, God source energy. So now when we walk into a mansion, in every room that you enter, it's going to give you a direct, clear reflection in the mirror of your true worth, of your true ability. Go in this room, oh my God, I'm such an artist. That is so beautiful. I'm so talented in that way. Go into another room, oh my God, I have divine wisdom. Go into another room, oh, I have divine insight. Go into another room, oh my God, I am a super empath. I am able to utilize in all of my senses and have them in alignment to my God self. I see with God eyes, see with God mind, feel with God perceptions, knowingness. So now when we step into that mansion of the many rooms, reflecting imagery to us, we're stepping in and we're learning something new about ourselves and seeing it for the true worthiness and reflection that it is. So, oh my God, I used to criticize my physicality. Now you see yourself and you're like, oh my God, I am shining in light. So a lot of us have undergone that physical distortion of who we really are, mind, body, and spirit. And now we're in every room is reflecting something that we've activated and learned about ourselves that we did not. Oh my God, I am a Indian chief over in this timeline. Oh my God, I am an inventor, and wow. And then like, oh my God, I was Archangel. Oh my God. So now we are opening up every room as we walk into, we're seeing that truer reflection of our heart space, of our pure God source energy, of that unfiltered energy of who you are. You're okay. So now they're saying it's like you are a sun, literally the sun. Every room you walk into is representing a ray of that activation, a ray of your sun within. You're going to go into a room and you're going to say, oh yeah, I am a beautiful mom, or I am a beautiful brother or son, or oh my God, I was so distorted. How did I even create such distortions? Well, you did it for the experience and for the fun house part of it as well. All right, let me see what we got for comments. So beautiful. James, we have been told to live in illusion from birth and not thought how to live for the now without the blinders. That's what we are all here now. We've got those blinders off. Thank you, James. Absolutely. We were taught to live in accordance to the church. Oh, they had rule and control over us. Oh, they had the answers. So we, like growing up, my mom always turned to the Pope, and she would always make reference to what the Pope says, what the Pope believes. That was her middleman for her in her God connection, the Pope and religion. And it's okay. That's her journey, and that's all right. And she's activating rays and light within that experience. But we are at a place now where we know we have it within, James. So thank you. We're going within for our answers. We're going within for our validation. We're going within for our confirmation. We're going within for our creation. We're going within for our light and our love. And now we are reflecting, like all of you guys, we are all reflecting truer um, reflections to our friendships, to our soul connections, to our soul family, that light reflected back at us. And it's not that the outside was ever separate, because you could say, well, if that's not who I am, how did I create it, or how do we do it? We did that as part of that. We could even say experiment, the fun, to have the physical experience of our God self realization. And how do we have that God self realization? Through the physical embodiment on our journey on earth. We got to experience everything that wasn't part of that. So we have eternity. So we're experiencing our God self on so many multidimensional timelines, planets, galaxies, universes, everywhere. And that's within us. And we create the hologram of the experience. And so if we're going to know who we are through the physical, we got to know who we're not. And so anyways, Spirit is saying we've cleaned up. We're cleaning up that reflection, and now we're stepping into a mansion, and every room and every mirror, every step and every walk is reflecting that love and light, that sense of self-worth, that angelic being that you are, that God self that you are, that lighthouse that you are. Very beautiful. All right. What's Abuelita Mamacita say? I've still got broken glasses here. I think it was you, James, last time you were on, and you told me how to fix my glasses or something. And then yesterday I sat on another pair and I got the same problem. Every time we go into a room, I say, oh my God, I got to clean this room. I do it tomorrow. Hey, divine timing, divine frequency. And you know how you get to divine timing the quickest in the frequency and dissipate perseverance? Whatever is available for you now, what is before you now, just coming into the awareness of now, we clean up all the rooms simultaneously by utilizing the energy available to us in this very moment, allowing ourselves to give and shine and reflect in this very moment, according to what's in our awareness, this very moment. And then we clean up and dust off and sweep under the, clean under the couch and vacuum in the corners, go into the attic simultaneously as we come into this moment of now. That's all we have available. We can call it control over, is this moment of now, how you can react, how you can respond, how you can perceive, and where you choose to place your focus. So it's all now. And simultaneously, we are affecting all of those other rooms in the mansion. My mom used to be the same way same way. She was Catholic, but I don't believe that way. I just let God lead the way. That's very beautiful, Abuelita. And we were also part of that, because I am so happy I was brought up that way, because what did it do? It gave me some sort of faith, but it also made me see areas that I intuitively know weren't ultimate truth, like hell and having to be worried about being tricked by the devil. And to me, it didn't make sense, because if God is an all-loving God in his life and is nothing but pure love and light, then why would he subject me to being tricked by a devil? So it really just taught me to really integrate and anchor into trusting God more, ironically, and knowing that the God isn't separate from me. So very beautiful. And yeah, and my mom's still like that. And that's good. That's beautiful. Amen, sister. I like that. I got to put that up there. We should only do what we feel for we should only do what feels good for us. It's all divine. Ask of us. Yeah, and what I've really released are the obligations, the have tos. What I've really have been embodying more and more is a lot of times I've been really ultra focused on being positive, choosing love, and in that, in my good intent, sometimes I have over looked areas of my own dissatisfaction. I knew they were there, and I will take a dissatisfaction and say, oh, I know it's working for me. I know all is working out to my greater good, and that I'll believe in. But what I might have dismissed along my journey is a little bit is expressing and yelling out to God my dissatisfaction, to God, quote unquote, to still allow myself those deep hurting emotions, all of those times, not judging myself and thinking, oh, I must be doing something wrong if I'm feeling that. So I have, on my own personal journey, had to allow those little distortions of me to know, okay, if I am denying myself crying and anger and hatred and being mad as F, knowing that's not the ultimate feeling, but, discounting that experience, then I'm discounting a piece of myself. So it's even in the little slippery areas where we're always choosing love. And even if you're expressing anger, doesn't mean you're not choosing love. You're choosing love of self and knowing it's part of that bigger part of you to experience that God part of you. Because then once you also express it, then you move it and then you transmute it and then you gain the insight and the light from it. So that's something that I personally have really been understanding more. Yin yang, yes, absolutely. Without evil, how can you see the good? Yeah, and just like there, it's. Thank you, James. This is really good. So Spirit is saying, without evil, how can you see the good? But what's really happening in this is what Spirit is saying about that comment, about that experience, and about what I was just saying too. How can you know who you are without the opposing experience? But now what we've done is we're at the point where we're really dissipating that experience, the contrast, the polarities, having to experience this to get this, having to experience evil to be good, or having to experience whatever it is to know thyself. And now what we're done is we've dissipated the illusion even of that separation. So the devil or God, whatever, none of it is outside of us. So now, as part of this huge transformative new birth, rebirth of ourselves, we are no longer even holding those concepts of devil outside of us, contrast outside of us. We are knowing that it is what you just said, James, the ultimate yin yang. It is all one. So the devil and the fear working as one, the light and the day working as one. So they're now teams, and Spirit has been talking a lot about that. Allowing your enemy to be your friend, allowing that resistance to actually show you the way. So it's embodying simultaneously where we don't have that uh, duality expressed as separation, but allowing that duality to be a team and work for us. So allowing a blockage of something that you desire. Say you want to buy a house, but you don't have quite the money or the down payment or whatever, allowing that resistance or that challenge or that block become your friend and say, oh, thank you. That must mean there's a better way. Maybe you'll have more freedom if you keep renting. Maybe you're not stuck down. Maybe the bank system changes. Maybe the rates change. So instead of trying to push against the wall, allow that water part of you to go around or in between the cracks or merge with that blockage, whatever that is. Whatever that is. Maybe you're not reflecting that perfect mate in your life. Well, what is that blockage? It's always like in your mind, ah, geez, I'm crow, I can't meet any, or it could be a job or whatever it is for you, whatever that is that is to merge with you. Allow that resistance or that enemy that's a thorn in your side. Allow that energy to actually be your friend and show you another way by us obviously going communing within and saying, ah, this is reflecting me. Maybe I got a new creative way to work around this, or oh, that's why they're, and they gave you insight. Oh, that person is a thorn in my ass because oh my God, they're in so much deep pain, and then you befriend them, and then it just creates this whole swirl of love emanating. Whatever. The point is, whatever that challenge, obstacle, mountain you are meeting, instead of resisting or trying to outsmart it or trying to control whatever that is outside of you that's creating that whatever idea of separation or that idea or blockage preventing you from living your heart's desire, befriend it. Befriend it is what Spirit is saying. Unifying the forces. All right. Spirit said that, yes, past few times. Spirit has been talking about we are at the point, we're at a major culmination, inversion even. They're almost showing me an inversion of worlds, kind of like Stranger Things, the other side, the upside down. We're like inverting everything that we ever considered separate from us, inverting it, taking it in, and in the inversion process, we catalyze it to the light. I don't know, almost like a black hole. I don't understand the whole black hole theories, but is the idea of a black hole when you go to the black hole, then it creates a whole new world of light. It's not really black, but you go in. I don't know. I don't understand it, but something to do with light. And yeah, so through this transportation, oh my God, so they said transportation. Through our transformation, we are transportating into an inversion where this world is merged as one. There's no more anything outside of you experience as in separateness, but it's all like that mansion of mirrors showing us that direct reflection, that new world, that new earth, that new age of Atlantis or Aquarius, not, oh, I don't know why they said Atlantis, Aquarius, peace, love, harmony. So we're inverting by taking any discord, enemies, resistance, non-love, fear, bringing it all within, merging with it, making it our team, then activating it, almost like creating this cataclysmic transmutation act that's going to happen at a collective, but it's not really happening. We're just kind of inverting it. And then boom, we're taking all of our individual transformations, collecting them together, and then inverting into this new world. That's all I can say, which is almost like a hologram. So we have this hologram, it inverts, and then it comes back out different. Oh my God, I don't even know. All right, that's so cool. All right. This what I don't understand. When somebody does something evil or bad, they always blame the devil, but God gave them free will, so don't blame someone else for what you done. Take responsibility. God gave you free will. Yeah, that's just someone who's really stuck in the system still. They're really stuck in a distorted belief. They really think that there is a devil. They think that they're still living the idea, Abuelita, of separation, that there is a devil, there is an evil force outside of you trying to manipulate you and control you. Absolutely not. That is representative of a distortion of a belief that is actually they're doing to themselves inside. The distortion that they're believing in, the distortion that they're believing in at a subconscious level, that idea of separation then projects as an outside control or manipulator. But that control and manipulation is just a reflection of that belief that they're holding on to unconsciously. You guys are all awakened to this. That person is still not awakened to their power. They got a little bit more synapsing to do until they get to a collective operation, a new collective operation within themselves working. Like this is a collective, the collective, not as in the outside collective, a collective like coding DNA, multi-lives of themselves activating within them to get that energy being their new. I used to talk a lot about creating from this new foundation. Your new frequency has a base. Well, their base isn't there yet. So until they activate enough light, then their base is like, oh my God, I used to believe in that. I used to be afraid of ghosts and devils. I used to think that I had to do this to achieve worthiness or being saved or, all of that kind of stuff. So you are already there. Your base frequency foundation is already there. Where people like that, Abuelita, experiences like that, they're almost, they're still activating that collective vibration within themselves. But then we can say, well, they're not outside of us either. And so we can really go deeper and say, okay, how are they still reflecting a little tweaking within myself that I am adjusting, transmuting? Wow, so much. Thank you guys for creating this because it's your comments. So every time I see a comment, spirit, the light within me activates a response. So on this platform, and when we join together these frequencies, it literally continues that expansion, activating, synapsing, decoding going on. So you guys are the ones creating this message. I'm just a placeholder with a beginning message, and then zoom, it exponentiates. So thank you. You guys are unbelievably powerful. I used to think I had to hide my gifts. No more. Oh my God, no. No. So even those times that we were, let's put Christy up here, even those times where we were let down or persecuted or even in this lifetime picked on or diminished or given this feeling of, oh, you just spew nothing important, nothing in the real world, nothing that's applicable in this real world. So even that reflection, that response from others was still based in a distorted belief that we were still reconciling within ourselves based on those old experiences. So we don't need that anymore because we're not holding on to those old energies anymore. So our hurt and our pain and our memory from the physical is still based on those experiences, based on the frequencies that we did not yet ignite in ourselves. So now we know that was just an experience of our own limitations, our own limiting thoughts, our own distortions within us. And now, you know what? You can shine, shine, shine. And even if someone does make a little remark, we don't take it personally anymore. And we know at some level it activated or sparked something, or it wouldn't have gotten their attention. And then that was just activating and making us stronger and more confident in our light. So thank you for that, Christy. Yeah. So I'm just feeling that as part of that whole birth, that inversion that they're talking about is part of that giving birth to a new you, a new world, a new hologram. There's no more separation. It's all teamwork now. Our enemy was our friend. That challenge, that block, that resistance was part of our team. I just find that fascinating. Anything in your mind that you thought wasn't possible was a thought to activate and catalyze more insight and to get you to go within because you intuitively knew there was something more. Oh my God, so beautiful. James, black hole, the idea of an object in space so massive and dense. Yes, that's the part that the light could not escape it. It has been around for centuries. Most famously, black holes were predicted by Einstein's theory of general relativity, which showed that when a massive star dies, it leaves a small, dense remnant core. So I am feeling that black hole, because it's huge density, it collapsed on its own light, right? But if you enter a black hole, isn't it actually also theoretically thought of to be a wormhole to another world reality? So as we have transmuted this dense density, evil, dark, devil, fear, end of world concepts, obliviation, what other words? Just destruction, the densest of energies we could experience, that through our allowing to go through it, we're literally activating it into the light to come into this new world. Thank you, my internet friend, my eternal source of knowledge, James. Oh my God, light workers rock. Oh, and that's the whole thing. So you know how I always say, I came up with the whole Master Light Blaster concept many years ago, maybe 10 years ago. And I started just playing with that concept and idea. And you guys, how I always say, we are all truly Master Light Blasters. Well, Master Light Blaster is able to activate the light in the densest of scenarios, AKA black holes, and then create this new opening to a new world, to light the way through the black hole to the new world. Shoot. Oh my Lord. And so that whole message, James, you just activated that. Thank you very much. And Christy and Abuelita. Hey, Lauren. Oh my God. This is just giving me just bombarded with all of this beauty. I have given my soul permission to leave my body. Well, it will if it's time, but guess what? It's probably not. You wouldn't be on here right now, right? And it's already left. There's already fractals of your soul coexisting, the higher part of you. So even if you try to leave your body, you're not leaving your body, because the idea of the body and the spirit being separate is an illusion in itself. So that makes sense that you're not going to freaking ass even leave your freaking ass body. Just the perception of it's different. Oh my God. James, you've been telling me what? Light rocker. Oh, light worker. You speak the same language, Christy. I've been telling you this. You speak the same language, language of the sun. James, correct. Any theory is possible since no one knows fact. And they say if you can think it, it exists. But if you can think it, it exists. But here's the key: if the frequency that we're embodying doesn't match it. If the frequency doesn't meet that idea, then we don't experience it, but it does exist. And guess what, guys? That whole black theory, why do I keep saying black theory? Black hole theory concept. Well, we are actually living through it. Okay. We're living through it as Master Light Blasters. And they even say Earth being, I don't know if it's a densest existence. That can't be possible. There's denser and worse. But we came actually to activate and to work that density, that experience to realize our God self, to infuse it with the light. And what does that do? It makes us so deep with knowledge, so deep with wisdom, so deep with experience that it's like that Big Bang where we just keep expanding that God source within us. If any of you guys haven't watched that guy, Next Level Soul, it's a podcast on YouTube, and he interviews a guy, can't remember his name, who remembers before his birth, and he talks about how souls that come here, they want to come here because it gives them such, I'm going to say a legit experience, but it gives them so much depth and so much experience, and it's such a gift. So you guys, we're so gifted to be here. We have so much depth and experiences embodied through activating our light through the density that no other experience could have gave us that experience of our God self. That's just like profound. All right. It seems like that is what it wants. So instead of people hanging on forever, if my soul wants to leave, it can. Okay, your soul ain't going nowhere. Okay, it's one with you. Okay, it's one with you. But yes, I understand. We've all, as Master Light Blasters, have experienced times in our life where we truly did not care if we just dissipated into spirit, because you've had to come through, work through, experience such a density, such a disillusioned idea, thought of experience in reality, in your physical reality, that it was heavy, it was hard. And I know that I have said, hey, I don't care if I dissipate into spirits right now. But guess what? I didn't. And then all I did was activate more light. And I know you guys can all experience that, because that's how you gain your depth. That's how you gain your wisdom. That's how you activate that God within you. And it's not that you're not that already, you already are, but in a very dense, low vibration frequency. What better fertile ground that you get to have to activate that light that you are blinded to. Oh my goodness. Babies are vehicles. You've been in and out many times. And that baby, you can even think of that baby being born new and fresh, but that baby's still holding all of those codes from all of those other experiences, and that it brings into it. That's what, we come in with a clean slate, and we don't come in with a clean slate. Spirit is saying life is a paradox, and now you're allowing that paradox to be and work as one. They're saying something about Pandora's box. That Pandora's box is a gift. It is as if you are a human Pandora's box, allowing all of it to work for you, allowing those mysteries to unfold before you due to your activation of light. All right. I've tried to build a life where I could live comfortably, but all I get is more work. Obviously, if this is a cycle, so I have tried, let's just put her up for a minute. I've tried to build a life where I could live comfortably, but all I get is more work. So let that tell you something. Let that be your friend. Why don't you achieve things that will help life become easier? After I achieve things that, okay, so you're being constantly challenged. So what you're being called to learn, so you do things to make life easier and then it gets harder. What you're being called to, or what you're doing, is expanding. You're expanding that light. So everything that feels heavy is a catalyst. It's a friend. It's befriending you to bring you into more light. And I think ultimately, ideally, you're going to merge with that, and it's not going to be separate from you. And then you're going to be in that more, that flow. You're becoming more water, where that's not going to affect you anymore. You're going to just go around the nooks and crannies, the cracks. It's just, they're saying, be like water. Don't let it stop you, deter you, make things hard. Don't allow what it appears to be defined by your pre-existing human experiences. They're saying you're a master light blaster, and you're blasting through this dense idea that no matter what I do, I basically, no matter what I do, I feel stuck at another level. Bodies, but okay. I've tried to build a life. I do things to get ahead of the game, and then I get more work. Yeah, it's about not playing that game anymore. What if you just step out of that game? Don't play that game anymore. Is it working for you? Hold on. Let's see what Spirit has to say about that. You're gonna keep getting the same consequence of a game that you play. The game is going to keep, whether you're playing sorry, whether you're playing trouble, whether you're playing guess who, whatever game you play, if you keep playing that same game, you're going to be playing within that frequency of the game. You play Twister, you know what to expect from Twister. You're going to get different reflections of Twister, different moves, bent, contorted in different ways. But the game is still about being bent and contorted and falling down. So what Spirit is saying is, whatever game you're playing, whatever frequency realm you're playing in, you're gonna get the same reflection until, guess what? You change the game, Lauren. You change the rules. You change your play. Change your play. Change your response. And then the game is changed. You are the game changer. You are not being manipulated or controlled, only to the amount that you think you are. They're showing me chess. I don't know. I don't play chess or know anything about chess, but something to do with you have the power to change the game. Yeah, you're playing in the same frequency where you're entangled. If I'm not in the game, then I am behind. Why don't you stop playing that game? You sick of Uno? Frickin' take that deck and put it in a burn pit. Burn it in the fireplace. If you're sick of the game, don't play it anymore. Spirit's getting stern. You could maybe, thank you. I don't know chess very good. I know you can move in many. I only know checkers, black, or well, I was going to say black and white, but that's actually right. You may shift your perspective on what's really imperative at any given moment. That's where we have true power, true control, and have the opportunity to use our free will in the midst of anything going on before us. Okay, say there was a fire at a historical building and everybody else is sad. You can change your perspective on how you see that fire that just took down that historical structure. Maybe something is going to be built in place of it. Instead of preserving history, building something new is what Spirit is saying. Instead of being upset about a building or a historic site that was been burnt down, blown apart, fallen, not supportive, or given the finances to keep up, everyone else will say, oh, that's such a shame. People don't preserve history, or they don't honor it. Some people living in the older energy will feel that way, but you have the opportunity to take your own free will to use and choose the higher frequency. Oh, they're going to build a new hospital there, or it's going to really help kid cancer patients, or it's really going to be a shelter for the homeless. This is beautiful. So instead of preserving something of the old and the old energy and breaking that down, that is the same with all beliefs. That is representative of all beliefs, ideas that are being literally torn down right now to build some higher frequency reflections. Spirit is saying. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and it is not the physical structure, it is the frequency of love that you are connecting to. So they're saying, sure, a beautiful church is pleasing to the eye, and it is connected to many timelines of beauty. But if it is replaced with a high frequency vibration with less physical critique, and it is more of a feeling vibration, then is that not expansion of love? They're saying expansion of the reflection of love. The book is already written. I see Lauren play TV games on the computer. They're telling me stop playing computer games and start writing a book. The book is already written. And the cool thing about a book too, the cool thing about a book is the book is already written, and it's like a frequency. It's like a frequency. Your book is already written. You have many unlimited potentials available to you right this second, because this was written in what we would consider linear. Yet look, I can take any page, boom. All right, and I'm going to actually read this because Spirit is saying to do it. We can pick any page, any paragraph in any book that was already written. So that shows how all that timeline that I wrote that book, all of the experiences, all the channelings I did to create the physical manifestation of this book is all right now. So, oh my God, this is so profound. So this is an example of how the past is really right now. And we can choose also any page, any frequency to visit in a book. And we can gain a higher perspective insight of what that book was 10 years ago. So as you raise, ascend in frequency, perception, which is just light, it just means, they're saying it just means seeing with more light, less limitations, less tunnel vision. When you have more light and you're embodying more light, which just means you're at a higher frequency, then you also receive the higher frequency information of any given page, paragraph, book at any given moment. But so also I can take this book also and pick. So my point was, and Spirit started me going on another stuff. So Lauren says her book is already written. Yeah, it is already written, but Spirit wanted to say that we can also pick. Life is like a book. We have all of these different pathways available to us. It's up to us through our perception and our focus to choose the path we want. So the book of our physical human experience, as Christy, as Lauren, as James, as Abilita, Mamacita, as Brenda, as all of you guys, Kimmy, you have a book that you came kind of written before you were born, your soul's general experience that it wanted to have, an outline, which is that book. And there's all of these potentials. Every book, every page, every paragraph, every sentence, every page number is a potential, and you choose it through every thought and every moment. And you don't have to go through the linear time. It's your frequency that puts you there. So releasing the limitations of blockages, mountains, money, finances, you can eliminate that by focusing more, and Abraham will tell you all this, focusing on your frequency, focusing on your vibration, focusing on the feelings that feel good. That is lighter, it's less dense, it's less limiting. And then you can shift to one of your potentials that you came outlined, possibility that you can take a road. And it's funny that this book, and when I read this too, I see things even deeper. You know, there's many, many, many layers to anything. Like looking at a cake, yeah, it's pretty on the surface. All of the layers, all of the work, all of the farming, making the wheat, the eggs, the chickens, feeding the chickens, the farmers, and the farmers' energy that they carried in all their timelines all go into that cake. And we can see it, what part of the cake that you enjoy or whatever. This is just a metaphor based on your frequency. So you're going to extract what you can on any given moment of anything in the now based on your frequency. So anyways, right here it says letting go of perception. So it's kind of funny where we're talking about perception. And I'm just going to read it. I wasn't planning on doing a page, but because Lauren said her book is written, I felt compelled. So we're on chapter 10. Chapter 10 is that new beginning, that new birth, that rebirth, but it's huge. It's an exponential leap in consciousness. It's a momentum that is like this big snowball. We've added, and now this big snowball is huge and it has momentum in it. As you roll it down the hill, it's going to pick up so much more snow than it did at a lesser momentum, a less light activation. You can think of every snowflake as a light activation. So the more light activation that we have been allowing and activating, every snowflake, that can be considered like a snowflake. A snowflake is crystallized water, crystallized divinity. And now we've got all of this divinity that we're snowballing. So this big snowball is rolling into a new window of opportunity due to all the exponential collective momentum of the light activations, snow compounded. So they're saying we're like this huge, gigantic snowball, lots of force and power due to the snow compounding, which is light compounding. So it says staying in the flow of trust, where true empowerment lies. So it's chapter 10. That's the new beginning. Staying in the flow of trust. Flow, be like water. That's where true empowerment lies, because then there is no illusion of separation, and everything is working for you in this moment of now. You've compounded everything. You've dissipated the idea of separation, and it's all compounded into this huge snowball representing divinity of you on the physical level. And then it said, letting go of perception. All right, I'm just going to read this little paragraph because this talks about what we've been talking about. There are times in our life where we may feel trapped by a situation, or we may feel trapped by someone's control over us. Goes back to the beginning, and Christy's talking about that also, releasing that control, focusing. We have the free will and power to focus our thoughts and our actions on what we can control instead of what we can't control, and that causes a whole bunch of anxiety. All right, so we may feel trapped by someone's control over us. We all have experienced this, whether it is a job that we are in because we need the money, or having to deal with someone in a relationship that we can't seem to make better. We may feel trapped to live in a lifestyle that barely fits our needs because our financial situation. We may feel trapped as we confront obstacle after obstacle and trying to make changes in our life for the better. Everything that we were kind of talking about, and that's a 93. Ending of cycles for new creative expression. So the 9, the page number is 93, which is a 12, which is a 3 as well. 3 is about our own expression, our own divine expression based on ending of a cycle. The cycle we are ending is thinking that anything is outside of us that's controlling, manipulating us, and knowing that the change happens as we step in to this new light energy that we are. This, to me, it's about ending duality. And everything is our friend, and everything is our team, and nothing is outside of us. And then we don't feel trapped, controlled, and manipulated. When we think it's our friend, then it gives us a different perception as well. All right. Very beautiful. Kim Chemistry, fellow gem. That was a fun live that you catalyzed with us yesterday, Kim Chemistry. Beautiful, fellow gem. And as I see her and I end with that, that is the illusion. That is what we're dissipating, that whole idea of separation. And then she pops on because she's a Gemini, and she is Geminis are human yin yangs. I would say Libra is a lot like that too. Having to make friends of all of those contrasts, knowing that we're all on the same team. There's nothing outside of you. Everything is working for you, and it's a reflection of coming from within you to get our attention, to get us to heed the call of unity. All right. Lauren, maybe take a break from what you're doing. Good advice, damn it. I said stop playing that game. Take a break. Take a breather. It's kind of like even an athlete. I see Lauren as an athlete that's just mastering this skill, but geez, I'm just putting herself through so much. Just like someone on the soccer field, and they're playing hard and they're chasing that ball and they're using all of their power, and they're in the, but then sometimes you just get beat up. And you know how players on any team, like I know in basketball, Mythos the other night, they have the next people go in and then the other ones get a rest. And I'm feeling kind of like that too. Let some other people play that game. Go sit on the bench for a little bit and maybe observe, commune, reflect, and ask yourself even, do you want to get back in that game? Do you want to even get back in that game? Or do you want to create your own rules? We get so memorized, entranced, and stuck. What's it called? Hypnotized into believing that's the way things have to be on the outside of us, those little entrapments. And sometimes taking a break, stepping out of the game for a little bit will give you the space to allow a new perception. Because when you're caught in the game, you're really focused on it, and you're doing everything, and you're manipulating according to the rules. You're playing your game according to the rules of the game. But if you step out of the game, then you're not so focused on following those rules, those ways, those beliefs. And when you step out of the game, then you're not focused and entrenched and condensing that to continually be reflected and to reaffirm that your belief in that you're involved in. When you step out of the game, it creates that space, and then it gives you an opportunity to gain a new perception. So when we're stuck in the game, we're so hypnotized by it, and all of our focus is put on being in that game, defense, offense, attack, being strategic, all of it. You get so caught up in it, there's no space for any other kind of movement. So when you remove yourself from that game, then you can relax and then maybe tune in here and say, oh, just taking that breath in. That is a really good way that Spirit just put that. I'm taking Dolores Cannon's past life regression course after I finish my human. You are a freaking bookworm, not bookworm, but I'm going to say spiritual worm. Not necessarily in the books, but that teaching and just taking all of that in. I love it. After I haven't obviously delved into the human course stuff, but oh my God, it's so interesting. And it was very on point. Yeah, Akash. That's really, I'm super duper excited about that as well. I'm realizing more and more and more and more. I used to not even understand what Akash was, or only certain people go to the Akash, and what? It's a library. You take out a book about yourself. What is all of that? To me, the Akash is right here. It's right here, and more and more and more and more is activated and released. And I'm realizing that I am, as I activate more light and tune more in here and allow and trust in what I'm seeing. So a lot of people are like, how do I activate my third eye? How do I become better channeler? And I'm realizing it is just being present. And how do I become present? I do a live and then it activates, and you guys are activating, and you're activating Akashas within me through your reflection of me. So the Akasha is just that eternal part within you. It's available to all of us. And there are definitely classes and insights and all of that kind of stuff that can get you there. But for me, how I understand the Akash now, it's a library. Yeah, sure. It's a million books. Sure. Yeah, you can just pick a book, turn a page just like this, and oh, this was me 13 years ago, and I was writing this, channeling this sentence. But guess what? It's also me now. So it's all available to you now in your heart, because God is everywhere all at once. There's no time or space. To me, that is how I am defining the Akash now, and having that available to me. And that is just exciting. Okay. It's exciting. Check who out. Oh, Russian doll. What I have realized is that I have a Russian dolled myself and have become my father to all other parts of myself. Thank you, Christy. Your heart needs a break from the gaming. Exactly. In whatever game that is. And it's funny. Okay. So this is even how everything is interconnected in the tapestry. Lauren loves gaming, physical gaming on the TV, computer, wherever she does it. And that is a reflection of her also liking to be in the game. So that game, this is a good way to just kind of reflect on this, how you're playing each game, just a little self-reflection on that whole gaming thing, where I've always hated rules. I hate playing Dance Wii. I can't follow those moves because I have to live to my own move and my own feeling. I can't be like a robot following somebody else's moves. I got to feel it. So I suck at that, but I like to dance and I like creating my own. So yeah, and even games, certain games are like boring going around a game board for me or whatever. I love mind games like Outburst, Taboo, where I really got to utilize my own information. So just ask how maybe what part you're playing in those games, how much are you giving up of your own power and control, and how maybe you love gaming so much. How about creating your own game with your own rules through your own feel and your own vibe? Stop playing other people's games, but make your own. I don't know. Just thinking of that. Stepford life, not. AB's grandson. Okay, I obviously didn't see everybody's stuff. All right, guys. So, all right, that was lots of beautiful information catalyzed and what's it called? Compounded. I like that word, compounded. We've all compounded so much light. And compounding, I sometimes think of it as tighter, but it's actually activating more light. So if anyone wants a personal, I am going to stick my PayPal up. And I think that was a good collective, lots and lots and lots of information. But if you want a personal, I'll just stick a PayPal link. I'm going to read your comments and give you guys a chance if anyone does want a personal reading regarding anything. Aria Berna. Give you guys the opportunity to do that. Maybe a lifetime will come forth. I don't know. I just make myself available. And Oh yeah, so that's what I wanted to also share is the best way to exercise your gifts is to step into them. Does that make sense? The best way to did I stick that on there? The best way to exercise your gifts is just to do it, and that is scary as hell. It makes you vulnerable. But when you do alive, you're truly alive because you are forced to be right in that moment. So that's what I like doing lives for as well because stuff will come through me and be activated in no other way. Like spirit's not going to show up before you need it. What you're looking for will find you. You can't go looking for it. We can prepare, prep, and work behind the scenes. But I find going live for anyone who's interested in that sort of thing, just doing it really puts you in that moment, and you really got to be available in the moment. You don't, and because you're live and the camera's on, you can't really think about the past. You can't really worry about the future. You're really focused in the present, like that soccer player, focus on what they're doing in that moment. It puts you into the zone, the vortex, which means that present moment. The only thing that is ever really available and true is the present moment. And it just makes you alive and it makes you go live and it makes you trust. You really gotta freaking ask trust. So that, I find the more, and I've been saying that a lot, the more and more the more I channel, because I really have to become present. And then the more activations, then that creates, like, if you got one little light activation, like say a match on, but then you got a million matches all adding together, then that light is so much bigger. And then you can even bring forth more information. And then that keeps activating more and more and more information. My whole life story is more. Exactly. All of our life story is our book. Exactly. All right. I'm just gonna stick that up there. If anyone wants a personal, let me know. The career sees me. Lauren says the career me sees the trip to Australia as a luxury. Even though it's not a luxury, I'm not going to go for pleasure, so to speak. Why the hell not? What kind of game are you playing, Lauren? I do not want to play that game. What's wrong with just pleasure? Do you not trust pleasure, which is your natural state, which is a higher frequency to support you? That's what we're breaking free from. I'm not picking on you because I deal with that as well. We all do. We all have that little bit of way with logical versus free form. And right now, both are working to us with us together. It doesn't mean dismiss the logic and the intellect. It's about respecting that, but allowing them to merge together. And then that's creating that new expression represented in the book, the three. The three is that new expression expressed from the logical, you can say the logical or the spiritual merging, or the spiritual part of us and the physical merging to create that new expression. So everything that we ever believed in and how it worked for us, well, now it's loosening up. It's being more fluid. It's like they're showing me a drop of water where that light is able to infuse in it, the light meaning the spiritual body, and they're operating as one to create a new expression in the physical. A lot of us have Russian dolled ourselves. The Russian dolls. I actually have one. My brother gave me one. He lives in France, and it's so cute. And you open it up, and you keep getting into these versions. All these different versions of you. We all are what we're doing. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. Thank you for that analogy, Lauren. Where are you? Well, I better keep. I just keep that up just in case. So we're taking off all of those layers to get to the baby. So the little Russian, the little one in the middle is a baby. That's representing our child within, the part of us that is all healed and pure and vulnerable and can come out now. And we have all of these layers on us, all of these masks, all of these costumes, all of these labels that we have defined ourselves in the past, all these little Russian dolls, and we're opening and releasing everyone. You can consider it a release or even a transmuting to activate a deeper light that we can become aware of. So the Russian doll on the outside, it looks like there's just one big doll, but look what happens every time you look within, every time you go within, allow more of you in the now. It's about allowing more of you, aligning to more of you. You open up that little Russian doll and you go to the next little Russian doll. And then life presents, oh, that frequency. And then that frequency triggers you to go within. Oop, I'm going to release that Russian doll. And you get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And then you get to the core of who you are. And then you reflect that reality. And that's what all of us, that's what the journey of life has given us. Oh, I am an honor roll student, or I'm a good student, or I'm a good daughter, I do the right thing, or I'm a good mom, or I'm a good hairstylist, or I'm a good wife, or whatever that label is you've given yourself, or I'm good at athleticism, or I am good at whatever it is. And yeah, there's no doubt that you're good, but that's not your label. That was part of that doll to wear to get you to the next level of you, and you. Wow. You guys just are master light activators. All right. The traveling is something I need in a non-desperate way to help me as a person. Well, I would think, I'm not judging because it's again that balance. We're coming to that balance. You are the most important person in your life, Lauren, and your well-being and your happiness. And even if it's not happy, he, ha, ha, your peace. And to me, real happiness is really a deep state of peace where you're okay no matter what, because you know you're okay. And that can only come from being that tiny little Russian doll in the very, very middle. And that's ironic because that you would think the littlest one would be the most vulnerable, but that little one in the middle is the most powerful. So when you connect to that child within, that vulnerable, unhealed part of you, um, you might not want that little kid to be in power, but actually that healed little child is the most powerful because it is the most free and it doesn't have all of those layers on it, all of those distortions, all of those beliefs, all of those masks. And it can truly operate in according to its own heart. What excites that little kid? What makes it happy? What dreams do they behold still? How do they see the world? All right. Thank you, Lauren, for being here. You've activated so much light. For 3 years, I made many choices, and now I have to truly commit. Commit to what? The question is, yeah, commit, focus, but what are you committing to? Are you creating, are you committing to an outside illusionary idea of success where you're still not going to be happy? I don't know. It's just food to think, food for thought. We all are there. I'm not pointing or anything. It's just because you are the one making the comments. Same with me. Like, what does it all really mean to you? It's all an illusion anyways. Everything is transient. Everything has a span that comes in and out of life. Think of all the different things you've experienced in life, come and go, come and go. The only constant is you. So I don't know. You are the most important. Your peace. Oh, 3 years. That's what I wanted to mention too is so Christy, you also shared this with me, but I watched it actually before and I thought of sharing it with you and then I didn't, but I posted it. And it was that Magenta Pixie and the astrologer interview. And they talked about in that video about 2020 was a 3 year cycle. And we're wrapping that up this March, exactly 3 years from now. And that was a time where it really caused us to go within. We really had to face ourselves due to quarantine and all that kind of stuff. And figure all of that out. Now the next 3 year cycle is going to be more free. They talk a lot about water. They talk about creating from that new frequency expression. It's a new cycle of freedom, um, peace, and displaying this universal unconditional love. So we are all in whatever cycle within your cycle are beginning a new quote unquote 3 year cycle. But to me, it's frequencies. All right. Libras too. Yes, Kim chemistry. Because so Kim, I got like double whammy. I've got like Gemini sun sign and Libra rising. So I can suffer with seeing many different perceptions and getting lost and in the all the different contrasts of perceptions and finding that balance and being decisive. And then I got that emotional part, moon and Cancer. All right. I don't feel trapped. I just hate what I have to do. Oh my goodness. I don't feel trapped. I just hate what I have to do. Then that is telling you something right there. If it doesn't feel good, true God frequency will feel good. It'll feel liberating. Yeah, you might feel a little nervous. It might be a little scary. Yeah, you might be a little off kilter. Yeah, you're going to be challenged in your comfort zone because you're creating a new comfort zone frequency. But son of a bee, create a new option. Create a new one. Create a new option, Lauren. She says, I don't feel trapped. I just hate what I have to do. I have options, but I don't like any of them. All right, I don't even know what I just said, but I'm gonna keep moving on here. My whole life's okay. All right. All right, all right, all right, guys. You guys are the perspective. You create through that light that you activate and allow. Aligning to more and more and more and more of you will create that physical reality to be experienced. The world is undergoing huge change, as we all know, but it's not outside of us. It's because of our allowing more and more of ourself. What makes you happy? What makes you peaceful? What makes you excited? What makes you feel light? You can have all the money in the world, but not have peace. And not that you can't have both, but the heart is the true barometer, the compass. It's the center of that little Russian doll. All right, guys. All right, I guess that's our channeling session for today. Gina, are you listening at, oh no, Friday. You're off today, right, Gina? And so Lauren says the new moon has her down a little right now. That's okay. Immerse yourself in those down times because that is necessary, because that creates that release and movement of energy to be transmuted into the light. So when you're feeling a little down, don't say, oh God, I really should be doing this, but man, I just really feel like sacking out on the couch, watching Netflix and eating some donuts. Allow yourself that. That's what you feel like, because that's honoring a piece of yourself. That is part of that whole beginning of this channel about the fractalized parts of ourselves and the illusions projecting what we see in the funhouse mirrors. Internal warrior. Yes, Gina has the day off. May I get a card? Hey, Laura, I didn't see you there. Capricorn, hold on. Capricorn, Sun. Ah, Cancer rising. So you got that emotional part of you. All right. New Earth. Take stock on your spiritual toolbox. Sharpen them all up. All right. So Laura asked for a quickie. I'm just going to pull you a quickie. I'm going to pull you a quick Gospel of Arcadia. This one slid right out. And we got La Luna. That's the moon, eh? To me, and I don't know these cards very well. Let me just put this on for a second. La Luna, the moon. To me, it's kind of piggybacking off what I was just speaking to Lauren about, is allowing those parts of yourselves that you never allowed, those parts that were like you kind of hid or didn't want to acknowledge or inhibited or repressed or didn't express all of your anger, your feelings of letdown. Because sometimes as a warrior of light, we always focus on everything working for us. Everything is God has got our back, universe, we believe, we trust, and we can operate in that mode as well as and this is that balance thing. We can operate in both sides, knowing that everything is working for us while simultaneously expressing our pain, our sadness, our crying, and allowing those feelings to be transmuted into the light. So it's about bringing everything into the light, about allowing all and knowing all is really available in the now. You can believe and trust and know things are working out while still crying and feeling like you are let down, abandoned, and experiencing the dreams unfulfilled. It's actually about everything adding to the pot of you right now, Laura, and knowing in that mix it creates a delicious soup. So to me, I'm just feeling some emotions, stuff coming out, some unexpressed, not so feel good feelings, the things that you kind of keep hidden or you don't want to show the world, those parts of yourself, the pain, the hurt, the sadness, the regrets, the whatever it is, adding that to the soup of, oh my God, everything is working out for me as well. Because then that is what creates that delicious flavor as a human being. And even it looks like two things, and adding almost to this like sort of like a cauldron in the middle, the soup. And then what's it look like also? This is the sun going down. This is beautiful. Well, the sun, the moon, looks like a stem and it actually looks like a flower. You are blooming, Laura, into this beautiful flower by allowing all that you are to come out of the night before the light. I know this sounds kind of corny, but that's what I'm seeing. And it looks like a beautiful, beautiful, also looks like a lollipop. Also looks like a yin yang sign a little bit, this little darkness with the light. So that is about you unifying all parts of you to allow this beautiful flower of Laura Runner that could never be experienced or expressed without allowing and embodying through the physical expression, feeling, emotions of all that you are. That is so beautiful. It also looks like a lollipop. My analogy of a lollipop, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a lollipop? It's about tasting all of those parts of you, about savoring the sadness, feeling the pain, feeling the happiness, feeling the peace, admitting distrust, admitting trusting, but distrusting and questioning. And oh, if I really admit that, then maybe my dreams won't come true because I'm throwing distrust into the equation. No, no, no. It's trusting all of it. Even that yellow is showing that. Trusting all of it, allowing all of it. It's all working for you. And that's good for me as well, because I think sometimes if I admit that human part of me of like, oh my God, my dreams are going to be all that I believe really isn't going to happen. That hurts my heart. But I also sometimes feel if I admit that, then I'm giving up and it's not going to create that. But I also know at the same time it's working. So it's about allowing all of those dichotomies, all of the paradoxes, all of the unseemingly aligned feelings to merge, to mesh, to create this beautiful flower, this beautiful world you're creating. I'm not going to read the meaning because I feel that that was good in the book. Beautiful. Oh, I'm going to pull you one, James, because I missed you last time. I'm going to pull one for you, James. James, if you're still there, let me know. What's James say? I just saw his name. The best part about being down is picking yourself back up with the new strength. Yeah, and being down, and then you release it. So you actually take some of that fluid out that was filling your cup, like sadness that was in your cup, and you can remove it. And then it allows, oh shit, this is so good. Then it allows more of that pure essence of you to rise in that cup by expressing it. You utilized that emotion to serve you. You accepted it in love. You know it's part of your experience as you to experience. And then as you allowed it, then you feel better. Because if you're holding it down, you know, after a good cry, you feel better. After mourning someone's death, you feel better. After the funeral and all of that, you feel better because you actually accepted that part of you to be felt. And then comes up this more beautiful high frequencies. Just in the feeling better raises your frequency, which is allows your cup to be filled with either more high frequency emotions and feelings. All right. I'm going to pull one for you, James, because I missed you the other day and I cut you off and I saw it as I was signing off. Oh, thank you, Christy, for sending stars. I know on Facebook you have the availability to, and I'll pull you a card too, Christy, to send stars. And I'm not sure exactly how it all works, but I agree to it. I got to finish putting my information in. So thank you so much for that. It's another way to, receive. Oh my God. So your rising sun are opposite. Your rising and my sun are opposite. Well, there you go. Finding that you're a powerful, well, then again, you're an 11, so you're a master. Getting that tingle, that feeling again, a deja vu. Thank you. It resonated. Okay, good, Laura. And that's a good message. Thank you, Laura, for holding that space for all of us. I'm not here as far as I know. Good. All right, I'm just going to pull you a quick card because I know you asked and you never ever asked, and I missed it. And I'm like, oh, I got to make sure I get James next time he comes on. So whatever James needs to hear, what does Spirit want to bring to his awareness right now? That part of him that's checked out, that's good. I'm not here as far as I know. That part of him that's checked out somewhere. What are you up to, James, over there? Let's see. This is the Gospel of Aradia. Don't know much about it other than it's kind of a witchy deck. All right, let's see here. All right, so James, you get Night Woman. To me, that is kind of like High Priestess energy, that energy that knows deep down, being very intuitive. What stands out is that moon behind her that looks like horns, like a steer, like a cow, kind of right here. That's what I'm picking up. But I'm picking up a lot of High Priestess energy, divine, feminine, knowing without knowing, and knowing that you do know. I'm feeling she's a guardian for you as well, a guardian spirit. I'm just feeling you've got this energy around you at all times. And to me, that also symbolizes bringing the unity, the male, the masculine, and the feminine, because here she's called the night woman and she looks very high priestess. She looks very intuitive. To me, it looks like high priestess, but then the steer's horns here look very masculine. So to me, it's about you embodying both of those energies and receiving a lot of clarity, because from the blue sky behind her, just a lot of clear imagery, a lot of psychic availability activated, third eye visions, dreams, and having those answers, all those answers that you're questioning are deep, deep within, could have to also to be to do with a woman. I am going to ask for a little clarification on this card real quick. If I have the book here somewhere, hold on here, because I'm curious. I don't think I ever even pulled this card, Night Woman. Hold on here. Oh, Night Woman, just real quick, and this is going to inform me to kind of other. Expect joy and good luck to visit your home, James. Well, that's a freaking ass good message. A spring clean of your home or office is in order. Reduce the clutter and clear the energy. Healing can be done in joy and with movement. Go dancing, love your body in all its splendor. That's all I'm going to read from that. So yeah, to me, as you're cleaning house, cleaning house to me, I'm feeling energetically, you're really gaining very clear understandings and an insight on things. And also as within, as without, as without, as within. So even if you want to get that momentum going, cleaning house, it's springtime, it's the equinox, spring's beginning. And also just as you clean your house and as you do your dishes or as you dust or wipe down your computer area, they're saying also do that with the vision of you're also cleaning your own energetic field and aura. And when you bring that intent to your actual physical cleaning, they operate even more so in symbiosis, they're saying. It will bring more focused intent to the actual clearing of energy as well. So very cool, James. And then I'll pull one for Christy. Okay, good. All right, Christy, real quick. Thank you for the star sending, Christy Burt. Just going to pull you one quick one, then I got to get off. And as always, anyone watching now or later, if you want personal reads, guidance, just inbox me, private message me. And I can do it on FaceTime video, or not FaceTime. Well, I could do FaceTime too, but instant messenger. I could do it on a pre-recorded video and then send it to you, a link. Taboo. All right, so you got taboo. I'm gonna have to read the book on that one too. We got these beautiful flowers opening up. To me, what I am feeling is transmuting and transcending any ideas of taboo in your life, any ways you needed to repress or inhibit yourself. I know earlier you even said that you were afraid, you felt you had to hide your gifts. And to me, it's about maybe other people. Yeah, this is kind of what it is. Other people might have judged your gifts as taboo or not, whatever, relative to the physical experience. And you're just really coming out. You're really coming out with your gifts. What is this, a petunia? It looks sort of like a petunia. You're just really flowering and opening up and releasing your gifts. And of course, as the sun goddess, you got the sun behind you representing that light and that activation. The more you play with that light within, the more you are blooming in the physical world. And you're going to be actually received also. You're going to be received and acknowledged and welcomed in a way that you didn't. No one unwelcomes a flower, right? They don't want to. You give someone a flower, they're not going to stop down and squish it and criticize it. They're going to go, oh my God, that's so beautiful. So it's about you being received differently than what you thought you were based on the old beliefs and the old frequencies. People are going to be opening up to you and welcoming your essence of the flower, welcoming you and welcoming your beauty, welcoming your energy, welcoming your light. So you're going to be well received in your gifts as you step into them and allow them and share them, Christy. Very beautiful. I love it. Just blooming. Poppy seed, poppy also maybe. And there is blood, like scars of the past. So it's showing on the wrists, the cut wrists, slit wrists. Maybe in the past you did feel really bad, like you didn't want to live or you wanted to die. And whatever those hard areas that you went through have really act as fertilizer, nourishing triggers to catalyze your light into this flower. It's so beautiful. So the blood that you bore, the blood that you spread, leaked, what's the word? Blood shed, that you felt blood shed within your own physical body, has acted as nourishment for this flower to bloom. So that is so beautiful. This is such confirmation and affirmation for you, and for you holding space for all of us that have also felt that way. Even being tortured or persecuted in other timelines, literally where you were killed and tortured for sharing your gifts. So this is the time, in this timeline, it is your time, Christy. It's time for you to shine. It's time for you to be received like a beautiful flower with the beautiful essence and all the beautiful beauty that it beholds, not just physically, visually, all senses. All senses can be enjoyed through your sharing. So very beautiful, Christy. Thank you so much. What a beautiful, beautiful message. All right, let's see here. I'm blooming. Oh, my scars, body and soul, I affirm I have embraced all. Absolutely. So that's really affirming for you, Christy. Absolutely. They're saying embrace your gift with love and light to the world. Yeah, yeah. And shine it and to speak, to give it away. Not in a unbalanced way, not where you just give it away and are used and abused and not appreciated. Literally, like, share your flowers. Think of yourself when you share a gift, or even like you are here today, you're sharing your gifts, your insight. It's like giving that person a flower. They want you to literally think like you're giving them a flower. It's an extension of your love, of your unconditional love, of your higher heart opening. So you've had a higher heart opening and you're giving that like a flower for those to be enjoyed every time you show your face, every time you share a post, every time you give your insight, and every time you share in your light in any way, shape, or form. So beautiful. All right, guys, I'm going to head off. I got an appointment I'm going to have to be going to. So I should probably, I don't know, change. All right, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being the Master Light Blasters. Thank you for exhibiting your courage and your strength in this world as you step into more and more and more of you in every moment. Thank you for allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Thank you for allowing yourself to enter the unknown, to not sure if you are going to sink sink as you move forward, but you are finding that you will never sink. You just rise to more and more and more, more and more you, more and more light, more and more higher vibrations, more peace, more joy, more love, and more happiness. May you all shine with the entirety of all the love and light that you are.